Back now with Robin's co-star, Tim Allen, you know, from Home Improvement, Last Man Standing, Buzz Lightyear in Toy Story, and now he's back with a new show called Shifting Gears. Welcome back, good to see you.
Thanks very much.
So tell us about Shifting Gears.
Well, Shifting Gears, I get to play a long story made even longer. They pitched, they said, if I did this again, what would you do? And I said, well, I have had 3 daughters in one show, 3 sons in another show, and I said, I'd like to play, literally, if I did it again, I want to play a single guy or widower and deal with grief. I've always thought, I've been always amazed with people that have trauma in their lives but still have a sense of humor and still expose themselves to people. And I said, it sounds a little dramatic. But comedy, I like to lay on top of something drama, and I wasn't really thinking that they were going to do this. I said, I feel like Tom Brady, you know, going back once again. And then the folks at 20th and ABC said, well, let's expand it. And then I wanted to be a car restoration. I love that word, restoration. I love people that build and rebuild rather than get new stuff. And so you combine all that. And I said, by the way, I'm also doing Santa Claus, the series for you people on Disney Plus, so I couldn't possibly do both of these. It's all they go, oh yeah, you are doing that show for us. So I didn't think they'd actually really do it.
Yeah, they did it.
It was just kind of a weird conversation. We could start like in January. I said, no, I'm doing a show for you presently. Where I played.
They didn't care.
They didn't care. They rarely do. But you know the bosses here, they just move us around. But you're all moving.
Yeah, that's right.
We don't like it.
We're delighted to have you with the family. I mean that sincerely. I had such a great time with you on set. And this new one is much like that. It's in front of a live TV audience.
Yeah, I love it. And I said, it's nice to be back home. We're shooting it at the Disney lot, and we're at two sets away from Home Improvement where we did it. It really feels like back home again. I love ABC, I love this network, and I love being able to do this. There's nothing like a live audience, and I said, I love doing stand-up, I like doing movies. The live audience, I BS a lot, back and forth, and I said, it's Sean, who plays Gabriel, the characters on this, Sean William Scott, I believe, did I get this name right? Just somebody.
Well done.
Anyway, he said, is this a live audience? He's never done it. And it's infectious.
It is.
And when you do it, if you haven't done it, it's almost like doing theater. I remember we had Rodney Dangerfield many years ago on Home Improvement, and every time the crowd laughed, he'd go, hey, how you doing? Yeah. And I go, Rodney, you can't actually look at them. Hey, what they're laughing at me. How you doing, everybody? Go, Rodney, all right, cut. All right, we got to start again. You can't look. And so it's fun to play them. The difficulty for me is I've directed a few episodes, not this year, but I will. I've done Last Man Standing. Is you can't use the live audience laughter sometimes, because sometimes it's. I will give you episode 3. The grandson in this is so good in this. He's doing a scene with me where he says, I'm helping with his homework. He says he has a learning disability, we think, in the show. And he says, well, what are you studying? Let me help you. World War II. And I said, well, that's my forte. I love World War II. I bet you are, Grandpa. You probably had a lot of fun fighting those Germans, you know. And they go, that's World War II. That would make me 108. And the kid just kept looking at me going, and we just waited to pause, but we'll never use that joke. And I said, it was just nuts.
But the live audience really does add such a layer of energy to it. I want to show everybody a clip. Here's an exclusive clip.
Why are my grandkids out in the car?
I told them to wait there so we can catch up loudly. And also to call the cops if necessary.
What are you doing here like this? Is there something wrong with the car?
The car is the one thing that's doing great.
That's because when I build stuff, it's built to last.
Except our relationship.
Well, that's pretty much on you, Riley.
That's on us. It's like the only thing we did together. Can we try to talk to each other like rational adults?
Have you watched the news lately? That's not a thing anymore.
So good. Kat Dennings is just awesome. You guys have a really special chemistry.
It's been remarkable. It feels like the whole cast. It looks like we've been doing this for years. I'm blessed to be part of this thing. And again, I go back to that. I keep thinking of that. I don't even know Tom Brady, but how would that have been to go back to Tampa Bay after being a Super Bowl guy, and now I'm back in it as a veteran. sometimes it's not funny to them, but I said, do I need 28-year-old, staff members telling me how to do comedy?
Right.
I get into this and I go, let's think of me as a jockey. I need the horse groomed, and you guys, the crew does everything, but eventually I have to ride the horse. You can't ride with me. They go, well, we'd still like you to do it like this. I said, not really gonna do it like that. And they said, we got an emotional beat in this. And I really like is that the guy's dealing with grieving, what it would be like to lose your love of your life. Then the cat shows up as Riley's my daughter. And that one scene, we both had trouble with it, where it was a beautiful scene in the pilot where she finds that there's a mixer that I haven't thrown out, that we made biscuits with. And we had trouble, when I read it, I had trouble with it.
Yeah.
When we did it, we had trouble with it. The crew crying probably because they missed craft service, but who knows why? Who knows why crew laughs, When are we going to get done with this so we can eat? And the fact that we went deep in that, and even the people that saw it, that makes the comedy jump. And Kat, it's like we're, father-daughter.
Yeah,
totally.
She's just freaking terrific.
Well, I have spent a lifetime from when I was a kid watching you in Home Improvement and loving that show, and I love that my kids now are watching Toy Story. And Toy Story 5, Buzz Lightyear is coming again.
Are we supposed to be they're like a real creepy organization, don't talk about it. They shut the studio down, and you're in. And T5 or Toy Story 5, I've already begun. I'm into the third act now. It's remarkable what they've done. Typically with Pixar, they didn't say I couldn't say anything, but
You're looking around like someone's going to
well, I swear. They didn't tell us up until the last minute. You'll be here Friday, and the animation set's on the Disney lot. And I said, "Are we starting?" You will be starting at a certain time.
Go now.
And I wish I could. There's a lot of real intrigue with Buzz. Jessie's got a big trouble, and then she needs help. And I said, so it's a really cool thing. I'm startled because it's a big part of my life. I love that character.
Yeah.
I can't, I'm a sci-fi guy, and I always think with Star Wars, did you go too far? And some people felt we went too far with 4.
I don't think that my kids would agree with that. Keep going, Tim.
Bring it.
We cannot wait for 5. Thank you for coming in.
Oh, God.
Shifting Gears premieres this Wednesday at 8 p.m. right here on ABC. Streams the next day on Hulu. You can catch Tim on a stand-up tour starting in April.